Fuzzy and Nuts are helping us discover our own past, from the worst jobs in history to living alongside dinosaurs. It's time to take a look at the worst natural disasters in Earth's history. The Earth is the only planet we know of that supports life, but throughout its history, that life has had some really close calls. But life never came closer to being wiped out completely than it did during the Permian-Triassic extinction event. Because it took place over 250 million years ago, it's been difficult for scientists to pinpoint the exact cause. But most agree that an event known as the Siberian Traps eruptions was a huge culprit in what scientists call the Great Dying. The Siberian Traps were a huge volcanic formation in what is present-day Siberia that began to erupt toward the end of the Permian period just over 250 million years ago. The exact cause for the eruptions remain unknown, though some scientists think they were triggered by a massive asteroid impact, like that which may have killed off the dinosaurs, while others believe it was a ticking time bomb all along, just waiting to go off. Whatever the cause, the Siberian Traps eruptions lasted for 2 million years and left behind 720 cubic miles of lava and volcanic rock. That's more than enough to cover the entire United States in several feet of red-hot magma. To make matters worse, the underground volcanoes erupted underneath several hundred meters of coal deposits, the remains of millions of years of plant and animal life, which ignited the largest firestorm the world has ever seen. This resulted in an environmental catastrophe, an acid rain with the pH of raw lemon juice. An incredible 96% of all marine life and 70% of all land creatures died in the years that followed. And it's the only known mass extinction of the most robust of all animal life, insects. Life got off lucky, and despite the devastation, the dinosaurs would evolve from the survivors and come to rule the world. But way back in Earth's history, life ended almost before it even got a chance to begin. In a disaster known as Snowball Earth, the Earth's climate began to suddenly cool 850 million years ago. And as the ice grew, it reflected more sunlight back into space, which resulted in even more cooling. In what scientists believe was a runaway process, the Earth became a giant snowball with ice up to 1 kilometer thick in places. Though life consisted mostly of single-celled organisms, it was almost completely eradicated, and it wasn't until the discovery of deep-sea hydrothermal vents that scientists could explain how any life survived to evolve at all. Taking refuge in deep-sea vents, though, life did survive, and a gradual increase in volcanism began to release more and more CO2 into the atmosphere, warming up the planet out of its icy death grip. Volcanoes, acid rain, ice ages. The Earth has been through a lot, but it has never been through anything more violent than it did when it was just freshly formed. As a young planet over 4.5 billion years ago, the Earth was still in its formative stage, under a constant rain of asteroid impacts known as the Heavy Bombardment Period. Devastating as they were, all these comet and asteroid impacts actually helped bring water and precious metals to Earth to make it the world we know today. But then one day, the young Earth suffered the greatest natural disaster in its history, an event known as the Feya Impact. With the second smaller protoplanet sharing a very close orbit to the Earth, only one of the two planets would end up surviving. And about 4.5 billion years ago, Earth's smaller companion, called Feya by scientists, was on a collision course with the Earth. The force of the impact knocked the Earth into its current tilt, and the debris of the explosion would form into the Earth's moon. Devastating, but it's thanks to Feya that we have seasons, and a moon that helps stabilize our orbit as we travel through space. The Earth has taken some pretty bad hits, and lucky for us, we weren't around to see the greatest natural disasters in its history. But we're actually pretty lucky to be here at all, and it's worth taking a closer look at these times life almost went extinct completely.